Imagine standing on the windswept plains of ancient Britain 5,000 years ago. You see smoke rising from clay huts, hear the crackle of fires, and watch men and women haul enormous stones. Some taller than a house, some heavier than 10 elephants. Without machines, without iron, without wheels as we know them today, they are building something that will last for millennia. Stonehenge. But who were these people? How did they live? And, most importantly, how did they possibly drag these giant stones across rivers, hills, and valleys, then raise them upright with such perfect balance? Today, we're not just telling history. We're stepping into the daily life of Stonehenge's builders. From their morning rituals inside smoky huts, to feasts and songs under the stars, to the sheer muscle and genius it took to move stones across the land. So, let's break it down. 6 chapters, one unforgettable story. This is the life of the ancient builders of Stonehenge. The day begins inside a small hut made of wood, clay, and thatch. The air is thick with smoke from the fire pit, glowing red with embers. A man wakes up beside his family, rubbing his eyes as light filters through gaps in the wall. Outside, the sky glows with the first rays of dawn. Life here is simple, but never easy. People sleep on straw mats with animal skins for warmth. Tools made of stone and bone are scattered nearby. Flint knives, wooden hammers, and baskets of grain. The builders of Stonehenge weren't kings or warriors. They were farmers, hunters, mothers, fathers, and children. Yet, every sunrise, they carried a shared purpose: to build something larger than life. As they step outside, the air is crisp. Smoke curls from other huts. The smell of roasting grain mixes with the earthy scent of damp soil. A dog barks. Children chase each other near the fires. Life hums in rhythm with nature. But behind these everyday scenes lies a mission. Today, like many days, some men will not farm or hunt. Instead, they'll join their neighbors in a task unlike any other: moving colossal stones across the land. For them, this is not just work. It is destiny. By mid-morning, the village comes alive. The builders gather in a wide open clearing. Some sharpen tools, others load baskets with dried meat and water. Women prepare simple meals: barley bread, roasted nuts, dried berries, to fuel the long day ahead. The builders are strong, not from gyms but from daily survival. Chopping wood, hunting, grinding grain, hauling water. They wear wool and leather stitched with sinew. Their faces are weathered, their hands rough, but their eyes burn with determination. This is not just a construction crew. It is a community bound together by belief. Stonehenge was not a random project. To them, it was sacred, aligned with the sun, a place of ritual and mystery. Every person, whether carrying rope or cooking stew, played a role. Before departure, a simple ritual begins. Elders raise their hands to the rising sun. A chant fills the air, deep, steady, rhythmic. The people believe they are guided by the gods, their work blessed by forces beyond themselves. Then comes the moment of action. Dozens gather ropes made from twisted plant fibers. Others prepare wooden sleds and logs to roll the stones. The work will be long, dangerous, and exhausting. But together they move forward. Step by step, the impossible will be made possible. Now the real struggle begins. Imagine dragging a 25-ton stone, heavier than a fully loaded truck without wheels or engines. The builders use sledges of wood, greased with animal fat. Logs are rolled beneath the stones, acting like primitive wheels. Dozens of men and women strain at the ropes. Feet dig into the mud, shoulders groan under the pressure. Commands are shouted. Children run alongside, carrying water skins. This is not a job for one person or even one family. It takes the entire village. When the path rises uphill, progress slows to inches. When it slopes downward, ropes tighten to keep the stone from crashing forward. Every movement is dangerous. A slip of rope, a broken log, and lives could be lost. Sometimes the builders must cross rivers. There, they construct rafts of timber, lashing stones onto floating platforms. With poles and ropes, they guide the load across, praying the currents don't swallow it whole. It is a journey of weeks, sometimes months. Camps are built along the way. Fires burn, meals are shared, songs are sung to keep spirits alive. And slowly, steadily, the stones crawl across the landscape toward their sacred destination. At last, the stones arrive at the sacred plain. But moving them is only half the battle. The real challenge lies ahead, raising them upright. Builders dig deep pits in the earth. Ropes are tied, levers are placed, and the stone is tilted inch by inch. Men heave, women push, children cheer. Sweat pours, muscles tremble, hearts race. The stone tips forward, sliding into its pit. With a thunderous crash, it slams upright, shaking the ground like a small earthquake. Cheers erupt, but the work is not done. Wooden scaffolds are built. Earth ramps are piled up. On top of these giant stones, even larger lintels must be set. Horizontal stones that lock into place like puzzle pieces. Imagine the sight. Dozens of people hauling a lintel upward on ropes, balancing it on top of two towering pillars. Every mistake risks disaster. But with patience, precision, and sheer willpower, the monument begins to take shape. When a circle of stones finally rises, the people know they have achieved something timeless, a monument that aligns with the sun, marking solstices and seasons, a place where earth meets sky and human hands touch eternity. While some build, others keep the community alive. Women grind grain into flour, bake bread on hot stones, and stew meat in clay pots. Hunters return with deer, fish, and wild boar. Children fetch water, gather berries, and learn by watching their elders. Craftsmen shape flint into blades, carve wood into tools, and weave baskets for storage. Pottery is molded, decorated, and fired. Life is not only survival, it is culture, tradition, and creativity. At night, the village gathers around fires. Stories are told, music is played with bone flutes and drums, and laughter echoes under the stars. These people were not nameless laborers. They were dreamers, parents, inventors, artists, humans like us with joy and sorrow, hope and fear. Stonehenge was not just a construction site. It was the center of their world. Festivals were held here, rituals performed, and generations connected through shared belief. For them, this was more than stone. It was meaning carved into the earth itself. When the last stone was set and the final ramp cleared, the builders stepped back and looked in awe. Before them stood something unlike anything else on earth, a structure so precise it could track the movements of the sun, so massive it would outlast empires. They had no written language. No records survive of their names. Yet their hands shaped one of the most enduring mysteries of humanity. Even today, we cannot be certain of every detail. How they hauled the stones, why they built it, what ceremonies they performed. But what we do know is this: Stonehenge was not just an engineering marvel. It was a monument to belief, to unity, to human determination. For the builders, it was proof that together, ordinary people could do something extraordinary. For us, 5,000 years later, it is a reminder that history is not written in books alone. It is carved in stone, waiting for us to listen. And so, from smoky huts to roaring fires, from the first tug of a rope to the last stone raised, the story of Stonehenge is the story of people who dared to dream bigger than their world allowed. Next time you see those giant stones on the English plains, imagine the calloused hands that pulled them, the tired eyes that watched them rise, and the hopeful voices that sang beneath them. 1,000 years may have passed, but their legacy still stands. Stonehenge is not just a monument, it is a message. A message that when humans come together with purpose, nothing is impossible. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments, what do you think Stonehenge was really built for? Until next time, keep wondering, keep exploring, and keep asking, how did they do it?